Customer loyalty. Everyone talks about wanting it, but here's the shocking truth. 65% of companies are actually driving customers away with their so-called loyalty programs. Today, we're exploring what real customer loyalty looks like and why it matters more than ever.
Well, that's a startling statistic. It reminds me of how the most successful companies focus on emotional connections rather than just transactions.
That's exactly right. And here's what's fascinating. Studies show that emotionally connected customers are worth twice as much to brands as highly satisfied customers.
Hmm, let me build on that. Research from Harvard Business Review found these emotionally engaged customers stay with brands for an average of 5 years longer than satisfied customers.
Oh, wow. And you know what's even more interesting? These loyal customers typically spend 67% more than new customers. But here's the thing. Building that loyalty isn't just about reward points and discount cards.
Well, that brings up an important question. What actually creates that deep emotional connection with customers?
So here's what the research tells us. It's actually about three key elements: consistency and quality, authentic communication, and what experts call shared values alignment. When customers feel a brand represents their personal values, they're 4 times more likely to develop strong loyalty.
That's fascinating, and it explains why some brands with higher prices still maintain incredibly loyal customer bases.
Exactly right. Take companies like Patagonia or Apple. Their customers aren't just buying products, they're buying into a whole identity and value system.
Well, speaking of value systems, I've noticed something interesting about how younger consumers approach brand loyalty.
Oh, please tell me more about that. I've seen some surprising data on generational differences in loyalty.
So, what we're seeing is that Gen Z and millennial consumers are 85% more likely to stick with brands that demonstrate clear social responsibility and environmental consciousness.
You know what's really interesting about that? These younger consumers are actually willing to pay up to 20% more for products from companies that align with their values. But, and here's the catch, they're also the quickest to abandon brands that violate their trust.
That really highlights how fragile customer loyalty can be in today's market.
Mm-hmm. And that brings us to something crucial: the cost of losing loyal customers. Studies show it costs 5 times more to acquire a new customer than to retain an existing one.
Well, that's a pretty compelling argument for investing in customer retention.
And here's what makes that even more significant. Just a 5% increase in customer retention can lead to a 25 to 95% increase in profits. But let's talk about how companies actually achieve this.
So, what are the most successful companies doing differently?
Well, the data shows three main strategies. First, they're using advanced analytics to predict customer needs before they arise. Second, they're creating personalized experiences at scale. And third, this is really interesting, they're building what experts call friction-free customer journeys.
That reminds me of something I read about how reducing customer effort is actually more important than exceeding expectations.
Oh, that's such an important point. Research shows that making things easier for customers has a bigger impact on loyalty than trying to wow them with over-the-top service.
Well, that certainly challenges the conventional wisdom about customer service.
It really does. And you know what's even more counterintuitive? Studies show that customers who have a problem successfully resolved are actually more loyal than customers who never had a problem at all.
That's fascinating. It seems like handling problems well creates stronger emotional bonds.
Exactly. And here's the data to back that up. 84% of customers say their loyalty increased after a company successfully resolved their issue. But timing is crucial. Response time needs to be under 60 minutes for optimal impact.
Speaking of timing, how has digital transformation affected customer loyalty?
Oh, that's such a crucial question. The digital revolution has completely transformed loyalty dynamics. Now, 76% of customers expect companies to understand their needs and expectations across all digital channels.
Well, that must create some real challenges for businesses trying to maintain consistency.
It absolutely does. And here's what's really interesting. Companies that successfully integrate their digital and physical customer experiences see a 20 to 30% increase in customer satisfaction scores.
Those numbers really demonstrate the importance of omnichannel strategies.
They do. And you know what else is fascinating? Companies with strong omnichannel engagement retain on average 89% of their customers, compared to 33% for companies with weak omnichannel engagement.
Well, that's quite a dramatic difference in retention rates.
And here's something else that might surprise you. Loyal customers are 50% more likely to try new products from their preferred brands, and they spend 31% more on average than new customers.
Those statistics really highlight the long term value of customer loyalty.
They do. And speaking of long term value, let's talk about something called the loyalty effect. Research shows that increasing customer retention rates by just 5% increases profits by 25% to 95%.
Well, those numbers certainly make a compelling business case for investing in loyalty programs.
But here's the thing: traditional loyalty programs might actually be part of the problem. Studies show that 71% of customers don't find current loyalty programs meaningful.
That's quite a wake up call for businesses relying on traditional point based systems.
It really is. And here's what successful companies are doing instead: they're focusing on what experts call emotional loyalty drivers. These include things like shared values, personal recognition, and community building.
Well, that certainly aligns with what we know about human psychology and relationship building.
Exactly. And the data backs this up. Customers who have an emotional connection with a brand have a 306% higher lifetime value and are 71% more likely to recommend the company to others.
Those numbers really drive home the importance of emotional connections in building loyalty.
They do. And you know what's particularly interesting? The most successful companies are now measuring what they call emotional loyalty metrics, alongside traditional KPIs.
Well, that sounds like a significant shift in how businesses evaluate customer relationships.
It really is. And as we wrap up today's discussion, here's something to think about. In an age where customers have more choices than ever, true loyalty isn't about points or rewards. It's about creating meaningful connections that stand the test of time.
That's such a powerful way to frame the future of customer loyalty.
Well, thank you for exploring this fascinating topic with us today. Until next time, keep building those meaningful customer connections.